in church. Listen.
For those of you that think that gospel music has gone too far, to think we've gotten too radical with our message, well, I got news for you.
Y'all know y'all listen. Every black church has played this song, okay? Every black church has had a praise break to this, okay? It's church. It's church Sunday. I'm in Atlanta. It's only right that I start today with a church song, okay? Put your hands together. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Tea with Tea. What's up? Dorian's at New York Fashion Week. Ew, you fancy. Oh, you fancy. Hello. What's up, LA? What's up, Ambrose J? What's up? I gotta write a book. Welcome. Welcome to the discussion. Y'all know what day it is. Do a little bankhead bounce. Okay, for real though, like we ain't got all day to be doing all this. We ain't got all day to be doing all this. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Tea with Tea. I'm officially in Atlanta now. Oh my God, it's crazy. It's I can't believe I'm here. Like literally,
I was telling her yesterday. I was like, it was like a couple days ago. I said,
Listen.
It's crazy how like we were just texting, like, oh, she about to move here, like all her plans. I'm like, all
what's
right,
up,
cool
y'all?
beans.
What's up? Welcome, welcome.
We want to see you, and then all of a sudden she in the flesh.
All of a sudden I'm here. So. Listen, y'all. One thing about me, I don't play no games. Okay, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do something. So just know I'm not the one to play them games with. I'm from the Show Me State. That's all I know how to do. Okay. So for tea time today, so first off, David, have you seen Killer Mike's interview on The Breakfast Club?
So I got a chance to actually look at it this morning because we were talking about it yesterday, and
yes, oh my
very
God,
very interesting perspective. I would definitely suggest it. Highly suggest it.
Y'all,
it's a must.
If you are black, watch Killer Mike's interview with The Breakfast Club. It'll blow your fucking mind. And hello, welcome. It'll make you so proud to be black. That is what I love about Killer Mike, is that nigga is so pro-black. Like, he make you feel good about being a black person. And the biggest takeaway for me from the interview was when him and DJ Envy were going back and forth, and they were talking about public and private educational systems. And Killer Mike was raised in the black educational system, and he is very articulate, he's very intelligent, he's very business savvy, he's very confident in who he is, he's very proud of who he is. So that is one thing that I can say as someone that was raised through a predominantly white institutional educational program. I do not have that same sense of pride that someone like Killer Mike does, because I didn't have anybody reinforcing for me, you're beautiful, you're smart, you is kind, you is important. I didn't get none of that. Hello, y'all. Welcome to the discussion. Welcome to Tea with Tea. You already know what time it is, okay?
Is that Cardi B?
I don't know who that is. Like, I feel like that's Patricia,
that's
okay? Patricia comes out when I have something real important but ratchet to say. True. So y'all know Patricia. She was always very present. I have not brought Zimbabwe to the table in a long time, but she's going to come back too. I am one of those people. Listen, don't fuck with me. Don't play with me. Today's not the day, okay? Watch a lecture by Dr. Bobby Wright called Menticide. Ooh, Menticide. Oh, that sounds like a nasty.
Shout out, man. I'm here for
all
like
a nasty mouthwash or something.
Yeah,
don't that shit sound like a little nasty?
It got a little bitterness behind it.
That just sounds very bitter. I'm gonna check that out. Pace, honestly, so far, what's up, everybody? What's up, C? What's up, Prince Mumba? Jackpot, what's up? Welcome to the building. Y'all tuning in. I'm here for this. What's up, y'all? So far, my experience with ATL, it's funny because I have a lot of pros and they're not necessarily cons, but the cons that I have are that, nigga, things are slow here, okay? They're slow. like trying to get a car through Lyft, that shit, I'm gonna have to wait a week, you guys, to rent a car through the Lyft. Like in LA, that is not like, hell no, I could do that shit like tomorrow, today, if I wanted to. So I'm trying to get used to the slower pace of things out here and how far everything is spread apart. The thing about it is LA and Hollywood are like the same in that regard, but the thing about here, you got to have a car, nigga, cause shit ain't no store around here, bitch. Bitch, the store is 2 miles away, and I'm not slave black, okay? I can't be walking those 5 miles to get to the damn store.
I don't think we did that since we were kids, man, and it's just like...
I'm telling you. Yes, see, you need to come through so we can do a session. But yeah, I actually really like Atlanta so far. The thing about Atlanta that I love is like, it's honestly, y'all, as soon as I stepped in the fucking airport, all I saw was black people. It was black workers. When I asked for like help, the thing about like the feeling that I get down here is like people are more genuine. At least that's my experience. Like when I asked for help, somebody genuinely was like nice and like helpful, but they weren't like fake nice about the shit. Like they weren't like, oh my god, hi, how are you? Welcome to Los Angeles. Like it wasn't none of that. Like it was just like, what's up, shawty? What you need? Like that's how it was, and I really love that, and I fuck with that because it reminds me of like being home. Like we're like that because they have Southern hospitality, you know, we have Midwestern hospitality. So I'm here for the hospitality.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll take care of you out here.
Thank you. Welcome to the South. What's up, Lyra Bell? Welcome to the conversation. So before we get into the topic of the week, I want to give you guys your tea tip of the week. I mentioned this in my story yesterday. Fellas, this is for you. Protect the queen. What that means is, in the game of life and chess, who, what, which piece is the most important piece on the board? The queen. Why? Because she protects everybody. Mm-hmm. She protects everything. And what happens when the queen goes down, bitch, the kingdom falls. Mm-hmm. Okay? So make sure that if you have a queen in your life, protect her. Because when she leave, nigga, your kingdom is gone. Okay? That's the thing I don't understand about niggas. Like, y'all can be so unappreciative. Like, you forget and you get used to having a woman around, and like you get used to her cooking for you. You get used to her like helping you with waking up. If you're not a morning person, be like, baby, wake up. You gotta go, you got an audition today, or you got an interview or whatever. When she leave, y'all niggas sleep till 2 in the afternoon. You go back to eating fucking Honey Nut Cheerios and fucking Oreos and shit. Protect your queen. That's all I'm saying. When you protect her, your kingdom flourishes and it thrives. When you don't, nigga, you might as well go back to being a bum, because that's what's going to happen most of the time. I'm not going to say for all, but for most. Maybe just some.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Okay. So David is my co-host today. He is the young man that brought the topic of professional racism to the table. So David, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us why you brought this topic. Like, why has this been in your brain? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, most does. So I'm David. Me and T. I mean, it's crazy, and this is a testament at the end of the day to how engaging this show can be. Literally, I was in the comment section like y'all are, just like spamming the comments, and now I'm here in the flesh.
Now he's here on the motherfucking couch for tea time, bitch.
So we here with it, and that's what tea's about. But I'm originally from Virginia. I came down here. I've been in the Atlanta area for about a year, so I've worked around in different places. Yeah, and I've had a lot of different experiences, but a lot of patterns that I've seen in like in the professional world. So like for me, living here, I think the difference, I'm used to being up north, it's like all business and stuff like that, and there's a different pace, and like she said earlier, it's slower down here. More people are just like, you just go with the flow, wait, we'll come back to this next week, rather than like up north where it's like, all right, we got this, we get this,
we gotta get shit done.
But I'm currently working at Sandy Springs City Hall, so obviously that's that's where the mayor, all the big time people are. People getting paid 7 figures and stuff like that. And so I've been there for about 8 months or so, and it's been pretty interesting there. Like, it was cool, but I've seen a lot of things happen with our black community there. Obviously, we have about 30 workers that are African Americans. Within that time, I've been there 8-month period. I've been there. Probably about 15 have been let go.
Nigga, that's half.
Yeah, 15 have been let go. But the most interesting thing I'm gonna say, because this is under investigation right now, it's an internal investigation going on right now for a lot of like racial things right now that are going on. So I have a supervisor, and they asked, he's been saying a lot of crazy things towards this African American man. He's 50 years old.
Oh, shit. You know, always the old heads got crazy shit to say all the time.
He has a disability. He's deaf in one ear. And I'm like, I'm really, for me, when I go to work, I say hello to everybody. I'm here for everybody. I just try to bring a different energy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because being at work don't have to be like a 9 to 5. We just here with it. Like,
yes. Y'all, I'm going to pin the topic for those of you that are just popping in, so you know what it is that we are talking about. Okay. So just know that when you pop in, this is the topic that we're talking about. I gotta figure out how to do this pin shit. I've never done it before. I don't know how to do it.
Oh, we knew out here.
Pin comment. Bam. Okay. Bam. Okay, we good now. We're good. What's up, D? Welcome. Yeah. So, David, let's go ahead and get into the topic. I apologize. I want to say ahead of time, I know that we were supposed to talk about this shit like 3 weeks ago, y'all. We tried to talk about it previously, and for whatever reason, I just could not see you guys' comments. So that's why we're bringing it back. It's better because David is here in the flesh, and so it'll be easier for him to talk about his actual experience with professional racism. Yeah. So, y'all know that I like to start with a definition for the topic. Now, the working definition that we're going to work with today for professional racism is, thanks to handy dandy Google, thank you, Uncle Google, the act of prejudice and discrimination within a professional setting based upon one's race, ethnicity, sexual identity, or gender. Now, for me, I'm cool with that definition. I feel like it covers all the bases. But for those of you that are not happy with that, how would you define professional racism? Anybody, if that's not a good working definition for you, let a bitch know, okay? I'm open. What's up, Bobby? Welcome to the discussion. Today we are talking about professional racism, okay? Now, I want to talk, David, go ahead and tell me about your experiences with professional racism with where you are.
I feel like, so for me personally, I just feel like a lot of black people in the industry, the vibe I get from just, being around jobs and talking to friends who are all over, the nation and stuff is like, people are really afraid to talk up to management. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like there's this line, like if you cross this, like, oh no, fall back in place,
Right. Get your little insubordinate ass back in line.
So there are a lot of people who walk on eggshells to be able to feel like, feel free to come to a manager and be like, look, I just feel like the environment, or I just feel like how you would talk to people, I just feel like just the overall energy in here is not good. That's somebody look at you like you murdered somebody.
Right.
And so like, there's a lot of suppression. I like to give a metaphor of it's like being in the field, like back in the day, how we were in the cotton field, but now it's at work now. Work is the new cotton field because people feel so oppressed to say something to like their supervisor. Their supervisor as a whole, or say something to their boss, will fear being fired, because it's real life. People gotta provide, people gotta do stuff. So I get it, but when you're taking less of yourself, or you're taking so much shit that you just like forget yourself in that environment, then you become such a robot. And it reminds me of how our ancestors were when we were on the plantations as well. So that's my experience.
So Jackpot says, me and my team have experienced that so much in music. And it's interesting, my friend Billy just came in here. We were just talking before the show, and he was talking about not his experience with like racism, but just like his experience within the music industry and some of like the difficulties that he has had. And so it's interesting for me because I've come from LA and now I'm here in Atlanta. And so I'm really wondering like if there's a difference in the level of racism within the workplace, depending on whatever region that you're in. So for me, one thing that is very prevalent in a place like LA is like microaggressions. And so for those of you that are not like familiar with microaggressions, it's simply a subtle but offensive comment or action directed at a minority or other predominant or non-dominant group that is often unintentional or unconsciously reinforces a stereotype. And I hate that they say it's unintentional, and honestly, it is unintentional, but nigga, nah, it's fucking 2019, nigga, you're cognizant of everything that's coming out your mouth. I don't care what you sit up here talking about. Like, I don't see you as black. How the fuck do you not see that as offensive? Like, nigga, how is that not offensive? I don't even see you as black. Like, I see that, like, people, what is it? People have said shit like, I don't even see color. I just see, everything is clear.
Is it?
Everything's clear. I'm sorry, last time I checked, this is gray.
Right.
That's brown. You can't see it, but these pants are navy blue. They got a little red in them. So why is it that when it comes to the color spectrum outside of race, we can see all of the colors of the rainbow, but when it comes to just seeing something as simple as white, black, yellow, Asian, Hispanic, Latino, it's like, oh no, I don't see race. Like, you're just the person. You're just the human. It's just, I don't see it. So, David, have you had any experiences with microaggressions in the workplace? Like, I really wish my brother Bronte was here because he was talking about his experience. He's in the sanitation industry, and he has had like supervisors, and most of them are Hispanic, call him like nigger to his face. They have, what's up, Raina? Welcome to the conversation. You're just in time. But like, I just think like Bronte, like I said, he's had people call him nigger to his face, and these are his superiors. That's the crazy part to me, is like, how is it okay? Why does your superior feel comfortable with being able to call you a nigger? Not a nigga, a nigger with an ER. And that's another thing, is like, we as a people, for whatever reason, when it comes to that word, we're like, or like when, not even us, I feel like it's other races that are like, oh, I don't say the N-word. Oh, you don't say nigger? Because I'm pretty sure that you have. Yeah. Even if it's behind closed doors, pretty sure that you've said nigger before. Like, whether you want to admit it or not, okay? And something that I also think is there's being a lot of, like, light shed on it these days is, like, racism within athletics. Like, for instance, the fucking Super Bowl, like, somebody said that Tom Brady had, like, a MAGA hat in his locker and shit. And I was just like, okay, all right, Brady. Right. All right.
I even think, like, I'm going to bring up this point. I even think, like, from the period of, like, us being former athletes in the NCAA.
Right. We are all former athletes,
and how,
David and
like, you know, you run track or you do football, you play basketball, these major sports. And it's like, you know, you have people collecting billions off you, but if you get injured, it's like you're seen as an expendable asset. You're not looked at as a human being. And I think that's pretty interesting as well. Not just from like a racist standpoint, but from an everybody standpoint. Everybody's going through that. So I think that's another.
That's true. Spectrum. So so that's the thing, is like there's so many layers to professional racism, and with you saying that, I can remember a time when I myself experienced like racism at Stanford, of all places. So that was a thing, like, I'll tell you about it in a second, but Jackpot says, it's in the South. I believe things are still divided. I come from Memphis, and me and my co-owner moved the label to Tampa, Florida, but the South has a pattern of racism for years.
Ooh, God bless you.
Ooh, right. Ooh, Florida child.
That's it. Ooh.
So what is the difference between racism and this is the thing, is like, I need to understand the difference between racism in the South versus anywhere else. Because I feel like here, the reason that it's still so in your face is because this is the land of slavery. Shit. Like, this is where slaves came from and migrated to all these other places. So here, the Confederate flag is flown high and mighty and proud, bitch. Okay? Like, I've heard that there are certain places that you cannot go still down here because it's KKK land. Like, this shit is crazy to me. But I just got here, so that's why I'm like, nigga, I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm positivity and love and light and shit. My old naive ass coming over here from LA. Okay. All right. Raina says if they say they never said it, they say it often. Ooh, is that now? Okay. Now, is that true? If people have said, I don't say that word. I've never said the N-word before.
Right.
Those are the people that say it as much as they possibly can, whenever they can.
Right.
All the time. So, Missouri's the same way. Some consider this state dead ass, y'all. Listen, Raina, I've had so many people like ask me if I'm from the South, and when I tell them I'm from Missouri, they're like, "Ain't that in the South?" Bitch, no. It's in the middle of the fucking country.
Midwest.
It's the Midwest. Like, what the fuck are you? Like, bitch, we are above Oklahoma. If I'm above Oklahoma, how the fuck can I be in the South? Like, what are you? You're not even making no sense.
I thought Oklahoma giving y'all a bad look. That's why.
They are. Oklahoma, them niggas are, they just make it. Oklahoma, listen, y'all doing a disservice to the Midwest, okay? Like, we are not here for the shit. You are representing us very poorly. You're about to be kicked out the motherfucking Midwest Union, okay? I'm just telling you right now. There's open racism and undercover racism. A lot more of undercover racists have come out of the closet since Trump took office. Okay, are we going to bring Trump into this? Are we going to bring Trump into this? Because he has reinforced proud racism. Like, the people that were in the closet when Obama was president, they're like, they've been tapping their foot like, just wait for this nigga to get out of office. I can't wait to start saying nigger to somebody's face again. Oh God, I can't wait. And like, what does this say about us as a country to follow up a president like Barack Obama with fucking Donald Trump? There is a lot more racists here. And you know what? I'm not even gonna say it's just racist. I'm gonna say it's a lot more white people here that want whites to stay in power, and they don't give a fuck what white man is running the country. They like, nigga, long as he white, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Okay? And it's crazy to me because poor people think they voted for Donald Trump too, and they're just like, he gonna help us out because we white. No, nigga, you're still poor. He don't give a fuck about poor people. Like, you did yourself. You stupid. Like, you stupid. Come on. Like, go on. What's up, Brown Beauty? Welcome. So, Raina says, yeah, but Missouri is considered Southern, though. The country ways and the racism, they still lynching. They still, bitch, shut up. They are still lynching in Missouri?
They're still lynching.
Oh, God, I can't. That's why I can't go back.
But it's
yo, down here. That's why I can't go back, yo. Jackpot says, great topic today, homegirl. My grandparents moved from the South to Chicago because of the bad racism. Okay, so this is like, this shit, y'all, this is getting to, we get in are we gonna go back to our grandparents, our great-grandparents? Because it's like, where did closeted racism begin? I feel like that shit started with like segregation, because that was the time when people were really like, listen, we doing this whole segregation thing, but don't forget, nigga, don't get it fucked up. You're still a nigger, okay? Y'all water fountain is still over there. Don't dip your goddamn toe in my pool, bitch. Okay? If you still want to have your life, you better not, you better stay on your side, nigga. We don't give a fuck. I do not care. James says, exactly. We went from yes, we can and yes, we did to an orange tan balloon.
Hey. I just want to plug this down. Like,
please.
I think it also had to do with, like, don't forget when Trump was coming up in them rallies where, like, he was literally promoting violence.
He was. That's what I'm saying.
That's why people are feeling more bold.
All the fucking neo-Nazis was in the crowd like, yes, you just gave us permission. We about to go out here and start pillaging and plundering and raping and lynching, nigga. Yes. This is what we've been waiting on. Like, they've been waiting for somebody to give them the green light to be who they are. Right. But it's crazy to me. It's like, with neo-Nazis and nationalists now, how old are they? That's my thing. It's like, are they, because this ain't just old, that shit, because racism and prejudice is learned habit. Children are not born racist.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know, like, in the South, is it still very prevalent that, like, old Confederates are teaching the ways of hatred and bigotry to their children, and their children are coming out into the world and like, okay, we about to set some shit off. We about to pop some shit off. We gonna keep this shit going. Because, like, how much hate, do you have to really have in your heart in order to be a racist? That's my whole thing. It's like, it takes so much energy to be fucking racist. Like, dead ass. Like, I'm really trying to figure out, like, why do you spend so much energy? Like, what does it do for you? Like, I'd really like to talk to, like, a racist person and figure out, like, what does racism do for you internally? Like, does it help you feel better? To feel superior to people?
Yeah, I think it's a superiority complex.
I believe, Jackpot says, I believe the South is still on the Jim Crow law. Ooh, is it though? Because I ain't been here that long, okay? So I don't know. Y'all give a bitch the tea. Because if so, I'm going to keep my black ass in the house, okay? My black ass will stay in the house. I don't give a fuck. No, I didn't come down here for no Jim Crow shit. I'm going to tell you right now. Brown Beauty says, I feel like racism is everywhere, and they feel like they can really express how they feel now. Now, are we going to contribute them feeling that way to the presidential candidacy of Trump, or is it even before that?
It was before that, because, I mean, like you said before, you have a lot of in-the-closet racism going on, and a lot of this stuff is starting to come to the news, but there's always been an undertone to me.
Okay. So David says he feels there's always been an undertone. James says he literally said, I can go in the middle of Wall Street, shoot someone, and not lose any voters. Imagine people in an uproar if Obama said that. Oh, yes, 100%, nigga. That was the thing about Obama, was he knew he couldn't fuck up. He knew. Like, that nigga sat Michelle and Sasha and Malia down, and they had a fucking team meeting and said, bitch, he said, Michelle, look, don't do no fuck shit while we in the office, okay? I'm telling you right now, I ain't gonna be cheating with no bitches. I'm gonna be focused on you. I got shit to do.
You see the dogs
Sasha,
out here living their
right,
best lives
the
now.
dogs, right, now, living their best life now. But when they was in the presidency, when they was in office, oh, hell no. You did not see Sasha, Malia, none of that shit. Like, even when they got caught with a cigarette, they team was on it like, somebody take it down. Take it down right now, goddammit. I will shut down your whole fucking organization, nigga. Take it down. So that was the thing about, like, Obama, but that's why I fuck with him, was because, like, he knew the weight of what he was doing when he began running for presidency. So, but that's the thing about black people, is we all know that. We all carry that. Like, we might not have to carry the entire country on our shoulders, but we still feel that same burden that Obama felt through his entire presidency every day. That's just the burden of being a black person, you know?
Yeah.
Raina says racism is a reflection of tribalism, mentality of, if you're not with me, you're an enemy. Ooh, that, you know what? That is true. That is true. But is that same mentality, can that be beneficial? Because we as people are communal people. Like, nobody can survive by themselves forever. So I think that's one thing, is like, tribalism, everything can be okay within the right context. But it's racist and prejudiced people that take that shit all the way left and out of context. And that's when shit gets all fucked up. Okay? So y'all, it's time to spill the tea. I want you to tell me about your experiences with professional racism. Now, this goes back to something that I was talking about, the Stanford thing. So, I was an event manager for Stanford University. Yes, bitch, the Stanford University in Palo Alto, California. California is a blue state. It's a progressive state. So, it was football season. And I believe it was around the time that Andrew Luck, before he got into the NFL, it was around the time that he was the quarterback. Good. That was when they were pretty good. So, I'm riding around in my go-kart, and they had this place like next to the stadium called the Compound. And that was where they kept a lot of, like, vehicles. Like, whenever the teams pulled in, the buses would go there. They would keep some random equipment and things like that over there. So I'm riding through the little gate to go into this compound, and for whatever reason, like one of the buses had started or they were coming out or something like that. Of course, I'm not gonna know that shit until I get around the corner that, you know, these buses are coming. But basically, you know, I had to miss and like swerve the bus, and like one of the leaders, or one of the fucking seat leaders, what the fuck? One of the like head people was just like, what the fuck? And he like said it over the radio. So this motherfucker like says what the fuck like over the radio, and like, so of course everybody hears that I done fucked up. So I get in front of him, in front of a group of the other event managers. At this time, there was maybe like 15 of us, maybe 15 to 20 of us. And so he says, what you did was stupid. Go ahead, say it. I want you to say, I'm stupid. Say it. And so I'm like, yeah, what I did was stupid. I admit that. It was stupid. He was like, no. I want you to say, I'm stupid. So I literally had to say in front of the entire rest of the team, I'm stupid. And to this fucking day,
fuck this job.
Yeah, to this day,
that's
to this day, I still think about that shit. About the fact that like he had so much like closeted racism within him that he was like, nah, nigger, you're gonna say that you're stupid. You didn't do something stupid. You are stupid. And the fact that like I allowed him to do that to me in front of other people, fuck being in front of other people. The fact that I allowed him to do that to me at all, I'm still upset with myself to this day. But that was a lesson that I needed to learn. Don't ever let anybody do that shit to you. I don't give a fuck what power position they're in. I don't give a fuck what authority figure they are. Don't ever let anybody tell you or make you feel like you are something, anything other than what you want to be called, and other than, you know, who you know yourself to be. So that was one of my experiences with racism that I will never forget. And I swear to God, if I see him to this day, we probably have some words. But the crazy thing is, because I wasn't one of those yes ma'am, no sir type niggas, he probably wouldn't even remember me no way. He'll be like, I don't know, bitch, I don't remember you. There was a million of you bitches that came through. I don't know. I don't remember you. Shit.
Oh, man.
What's up, Lucky? Welcome. Raina says, no, I refuse. Lucky says he would have got them hands. Dead ass. I'm sure. But see, that's what I'm saying. I think that we also, as a black people, we have self-restraint.
Right.
Like, even though people try us all the time, and we know it's motherfuckers that we should get these paws to and put these paws on them, we restrain ourselves because we know if we do, we are being an example for the entire black race. And if we put our hands on that person, no matter who is in the wrong, we are going to be the one that's looked at like, see, that's that black people shit. There they go, being a nigger.
Yep. And I think
I knew it.
That's a good point too, man. Like, you know, it goes back to what we say in profession. You gotta know your power, what you have. As soon as something happens to you, you really have all the power to do what you want to do with it.
Right.
You know, you can make an impact and start a revolution that might help somebody that was really scared to talk about it in your workplace, or really scared to even, you know, say anything. So,
but why are we so afraid to talk about racism? Like, that seems to be the one topic that, like, always, like, we talk about it in like little groups around the workplace, but we never
very sensitively too.
It's a very exactly. And like, but we could talk about sexual harassment. We could talk about sexual like discrimination. We could talk about prejudice against gays and the LGBT community and transgendered folk openly within the workplace. We can talk about, you know, parental rights, about moms, you know, having more flexibility and getting paid leave and all of that within their schedule. So why is it so much harder to talk about racism as opposed to any of the other difficult subjects that can potentially come up within the workplace? Why? What's up, Finesse Kid Chris? Welcome to the conversation. The topic is pinned for you. Right now, we are spilling the tea. I want you to tell me about your experience with professional racism. For anybody that has been in a professional work setting and you have experienced racism, I want to talk about it. I want to hear about it because I feel like somebody got to start the conversation.
Got to.
People can't be upset to have this conversation.
Not to start the conversation, but just I think all sides really need just to put it all out there because that's the only way we're going to be able to progress forward. But
Raina says, many times I feel I can't be included in the conversation because I'm multiracial. One woman army here. Ooh, that's interesting. I didn't think about people that are multiracial being able to be included in the conversation. That would be so interesting. You'll be like, well, I'm part white, I'm part black, so like I can understand both sides of this because I have both like that. But do you identify as a black woman or do you identify as a white woman, or are you like, I'm multiracial? Like that's always something that to me is really interesting too, is like when you have multiple, because I mean at this point all of us are multiracial. Like we all have some form of another race swirling around inside of us. So I don't even think so much it has to do with your like racial identification anymore as to what it looks like on the inside or outside. Bitch, do you look black? Because if you look black, you gonna be treated like you black. So I think that's where I'm coming from, is like, do you look black? If you do, you can contribute to the conversation because you can identify with our struggle because people have treated you that way. Whether you self-identify as that or not, or even if you're Muslim or Arabic or whatever, and you have been discriminated against because people, might have been calling you a turban. So I don't know what the fuck you say. I don't know. I've never made fun of a Muslim. I don't know. But you know what I mean. Jackpot says, I will be like one more word. What? Wait. I need to see what the fuck you say. I will be like one more word. I'm going to slap the now later juice out your mouth. Oh, not the now later juice. But you did the right choice to kill him with kindness. Right. Lucky said, why they hate us so much. That's the question of the millennium.
Right. I also want to bring this point up too. It's also, we got to think about under this presidency, under this, what's going on. We got to think about our Mexican Latino community base too, because they're hurting right now. A lot of their family members are getting deported because of this wall thing, and it's a very sensitive topic nobody's really talking about in the workplace.
Shit, 21 Savage. I was like, the fuck you talking
about
that
completely threw me off. But
I swear to God, I thought that nigga was black. I think it's British. Okay, but that nigga don't sound British at all. So that's why I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about deporting 21 Savage? I had no idea that he was British.
Random, man,
none. It's crazy. So Raina says, I'm not white enough, I'm not black enough, I'm not Hispanic enough, blah, blah, blah. I'm treated black by white people and I'm treated white by black people. That is definitely being caught between a rock and a hard place, for sure, definitely. But see, I can identify with that because when I was growing up, my cousins and stuff, they used to call me white girl. They used to, and that's another thing is like us within, or Oreo, like us within our community, just the hate, the self-hatred that we have is an issue. And I'm going to address that after I talk about it. So James says, being one of maybe 7 or 8 blacks at this new job, I'm hoping I don't experience racism, but I'm almost mentally preparing for it. See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Why do we as a people feel like we have to mentally prepare ourselves when we are going into a job that is, we know, predominantly white? Okay. Why do we have to do that?
I think it's because it's their world, and they own it. And it goes back to what we always talk about off of this is like, we're working for somebody else.
Right.
And we have to provide. We have to do things for ourselves, so we have to play by the rules. And that's just really the culture that they set when we enter in as black people and as minorities. So
I just feel like white people just don't have any fun. White people don't have no fun, you guys. Like, they are the fucking fun suckers.
They do.
But listen, them niggas have a different kind of fun, okay? Right. Their fun is always some wild, crazy shit. I'm talking about regular nigga fun, okay? Right. I'm talking about you go to a function and you dance, you play some dominoes, bitch play a little pinochle, maybe get a spades game popping, have a little game night. That's what the fuck kind of fun. That's black people fun. I'm not talking about drink 50 beers in 5 minutes and then go jump off of a fucking roof into a pool. Yeah. That's white people fun.
Oh, man.
I don't participate in white people fun. That shit don't look fun to me. If you want to play with your life like that, and you want to potentially like you cool with testing death like that, you go right ahead. That's not me. I can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. I'll tell you right now. Now, I do want to say, Raina says they don't own shit. Oh my God. So that's another thing. Raina, I'm glad that you actually brought that up because that is one of the problems of the Black community is that we don't own shit. Or the shit that we do own doesn't have any value. Jewelry, clothes, cars, all that shit depreciates with value. There is no value once you put it on your fucking neck. Once you put it on your wrist. Once you put it on your body, that shit will never equal or be greater than the amount that it was. Unless you a poppin' ass nigga and you die, then okay. We can put your shit up for auction and we'll get maybe 2, 3, 4 times the amount because you a poppin' ass nigga. But I just mean in general, in the Black community, we have to start buying property. Real estate is how you can transfer wealth within our community. And I know that there's still a lot of redlining. There's still a lot of discrimination within banks and shit like that. But that's another thing that Killer Mike brought up in his interview that I really fuck with is the fact that like criminality is a part of capitalism. Drug dealers are necessary for the initiative, for the struggle. Because they are the niggas that are actually kicking in that last couple $100. For the plate, to build the church fund or whatever it is. So when we look at criminals, like I can't look at criminals the same way because my uncles are considered criminals. Like they were drug dealers. Half of my uncles are in jail. So the fact that like, but I know them as my uncle. I don't just know them as a drug dealer. I see the person behind the act. So for me, it's like we have to stop demonizing criminals when most of the time if they're Black, they just trying to feed their family.
Robin Hood complex.
Yes, they have that Robin Hood complex. Hello, y'all. Welcome to the conversation. It is pinned below. We are talking about professional racism. David, have you ever, I want to hear an experience that you've personally had with racism. Like, have you, instead of like watching it or seeing it, what have you experienced within your workplace?
So this goes back to, again, being at Sandy Springs, and my supervisor just walked up to me and felt comfortable enough to ask me, why can't he say nigger, E-R?
He did?
Right in front, right in front. And, you know, I wish I could be shocked. But,
what up, Shelly Shell? Yeah.
You know, I actually stood my ground in that situation. I was like, you know, I just told him, I was like, I don't understand why you feel so comfortable.
Coming up to say some shit like that to me.
And I was like, you know what? That goes to show me that you do this all the time behind closed doors.
That's the thing, you know? Is when someone shows you who they are.
I actually, and this is what I talk to you. I actually went to HR. And
you did? Okay. You went to HR and what happened?
I went to HR and they're conducting an internal investigation. But see, what's crazy? What's crazy about it is like, if it had been the other way around, there would be no discussion. But they're giving him the internal. We're gonna look into it because he's a higher on the pedestal. He's not as expendable as somebody like myself who is just the entry level. So they're just looking at it as like, okay, well, we got to investigate. We got to ask people. We got to check the cameras. We got to do all this other stuff. So they're launching their investigation.
We got to check the cameras.
It's just crazy to me, man. Like, just going through that and seeing how they're going about it, I'm just like, man, we got a long ways to go.
Right. Yeah. We definitely still have a long ways to go. So, real quick, before we get into emptying the cup, for you, which one do you feel is more prevalent in a professional setting? Microaggressions or just flat out racism? Like, for those of you that, you know, you have like a real job and shit. Because I haven't had a real job since 2014, so bitch, I don't know. I can't tell you. I haven't. But I think that's the thing though, is that was another thing that it didn't matter what field that I went into. Racism was racism. It didn't matter where it was coming from. It came from white people. It came from Hispanics. It came from Asians. It did not fucking matter. It comes from Black people. Like racism is not like, let's not just get this twisted that it's just a white people thing. Okay, because racism is prevalent across the board. Okay, so for me, one of the reasons why I left the rat race was because I was a personal trainer at a gym called Equinox, which fucking hate Equinox. It's literally one of the worst. Any fitness organization is one of the worst fucking companies that you can work for ever. I experienced the same thing when I was an operations manager for LA Fitness. Y'all motherfuckers should be ashamed of yourself for how you do your employees, and that's why you have such a high turnover rate, bitch. It's because you're so terrible at... Right, listen, I'm telling you right now. T-Mac wants to come live with us. T-Mac, do you have a experience to contribute on professional racism? If so, please say yes, and I will approve you, and you can come live with us.
Y'all been awesome, man.
Yeah, y'all been really participatory. I really appreciate it. What's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. But so I was working at Equinox, and one of my higher ups, one of my managers, he was Hispanic. And for whatever reason, he always used to like press me. Like he always used to like come at me like real aggressively. Like I remember, I'll never forget, there was a time when like he threw me like a client or something for like one of those assessments or whatever. Cause you know, like we used to have to build up our clientele and shit like that. And so he was like, I'm giving you this person because I feel like you can do it, da-da-da-da-da. Don't make me look bad. Or don't make me regret this. Or some shit like that. Dead ass, y'all. I'm telling you, literally, like, the next fucking day. It might even not have been the next day. Like, I had to pull my managers aside. I called my GM and the other, like, fitness manager. And I was like, listen, I need to talk to y'all. And, y'all, Dave, you ever been so mad that you was crying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was that fucking mad in this meeting. So I said, listen.
I mean, I got heated one time. I had tears coming out. I was like, I had my face up. Like,
this nigga was... I dead ass told him, I was like, look, I'm telling you right now, if I fire off on this motherfucker, it's because I already have decided I don't want this job anymore. I'm telling you right now, keep this motherfucker away from me. Because if you don't, I'm going to beat the shit out of him. Like, I'm going to beat the brakes off this nigga. And I was so upset that I was crying. Like, my fucking manager, that bitch started crying. She was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Was she white?
She was white.
I love, though. They always do that, though. It's oh my God, I can't believe. I've been in your life for like 4 minutes.
Oh my, literally, like crazy. She was up in arms. Like she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. Like I understand." And so I was just like, "Listen, like I said, if I fire off on this nigga, y'all already know I'm out the door. So I'm just telling you ahead of time before this shit happens, keep him away from me." That's all I want to say.
That's a lot to say there.
Right. James said, do y'all think your occupation and what organization, city, state, or government determines if you will be defended if you have to go to HR to make racism claims? Ooh, that's a really good question. David, I'm going to let you take that.
So, I mean, I work for the government.
Because he works for the government.
So, with that, like, it's very sensitive, man, because I know in the higher positions, the ones that produce more press, ones that produce more media on a daily basis because of their brand, they're very sensitive about coming and talking about those issues. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier, because, they don't want the controversy. They don't want that image. They would rather keep, a controlled narrative at the workplace. So they'll be easier to either dismiss it or go on an internal investigation.
Right, which means they ain't gonna do shit.
Which means they ain't gonna really do
internal investigation means I ain't about to do shit. But it sound good. So I'm gonna tell you this because it sounds like I'm about to go do some shit that I'm not. So, just so you know.
That's my 2 cents about it. Other places, I don't know. You guys would have to tell me.
Right, exactly. And James also said, side note, where did that brother find his coat? I want one. David, where can niggas get your coat? Fashion.
H&M, man.
That ass. Nigga, you still shopping at H&M? Ooh, you a traitor. This nigga is a traitor.
But honestly though, you can I'm more of a guy, like I shop everywhere, so don't sleep on like the thrift stores. I'm telling you that now.
It is.
I got these pants from a thrift store. I got this from Forever 21.
Shit, those vintage
like
stores. Listen,
it's coming back in style, man. I'm telling you. So
it really is.
But
as far as how I feel about depending on your occupation, if you're going to be defended, I do think it does depend on your occupation. It depends on how well you know your managers, like what kind of relationship that you personally have with your managers, because that's one thing is like, if you have a close relationship with your managers, I do feel like they're more able to, or their more tendency is to fight for you. Because they know you as a person. And so sometimes the reason that things kind of get swept under the rug is because like you don't have a relationship with your manager. And so I do feel like if we mended the relationships within the organization from top to bottom, and so that everybody knows the CEO, everybody knows the executive board knows the members that work underneath them, and they all establish relationships and they go do shit together. That could help with a lot of the shit that's going on internally within organizations. The reason that there's so many problems is because like everything is compartmentalized. Like you got your executive board over here, you got your entry level people over here, you got your managers over here. The president don't talk to no fucking body. So it's like if everybody would come together and do group activities together and do team building exercises, you guys would like look at places like Google. Places like fucking Amazon. They are building a culture that people need to follow suit on, because they're showing that people are people. As long as you treat them respectfully, as long as you treat them like you give a fuck about them, they'll go the mile for you. They will go the distance for you. But when you compartmentalize and you keep people segregated, this is what happens. Okay? This is what happens. Now, all right, y'all. Purr it. Okay. I've never started doing that. What's up, Mr. Fitzwell? Y'all, I'm so sad. We only got like 10 minutes left. Oh my God. Okay, so it's time to empty the cup then. So, David, what are your final thoughts? Like, how can we combat professional racism? Like, should we speak up when it occurs, or is there another way to go about handling it? How do you feel?
So, three things. One, going back to her point, management. You got to start treating your employees like family. We have to get back to the family values, because too many times we look at them as professionals. Oh, he's just a cognizant in the world. When I'm done with him, was whatever.
Exactly.
Two, if you see this stuff going on, don't be afraid to, like, I understand, we work in a place where we have to kind of be sensitive about this. You have to pull your mans or your women's off to the side. Look, little young queen, look, this is how it is.
Young queen.
No, seriously though, but have these conversations, so people understand, like, they see this going on. We're not just doing the bird box challenge while this stuff is going on.
Not the bird box challenge.
Seriously, because too many of our own will sit by and say, well, I ain't seen nothing.
Right, exactly.
You have to be in it, because I'm telling you, they do it to the person that's in your department, in your office, is not far from your doorstep.
Exactly.
So talk about it. Stand as one. If you want to make an impact and go to HR, stand behind your brother. If you see something happen, be there for your brother or your sister. I'm telling you, whether it's Mexican, Black, Chinese, whatever, we're all going through it in our own way. Exactly. And then three, like I said, when you get to those opportunities where you have people that answer to you, be that change.
You're in that managerial position.
And go to those national platforms and talk about it. Share the wealth to the next generation, because it's dying. Like, our next generation is not teaching it. So that's just where I stand with it. My thoughts.
Raina says, I didn't see nothing because remember, I'm not included. Raina speaking for all the multiracial people in the building. These niggas said, listen, I didn't see shit. I ain't finna say shit. Right. She finna fucking Denzel Washington everybody. Okay? I'm just telling you right now. I would say my final thoughts, I agree with David pretty much with like how we can combat professional racism is if you see something, say something. Okay? And I do agree, like we've been saying, people need to get to know everybody. Like, don't just single people out because you guys are on the same level or you're trying to get to the next level, so you trying to mingle and shit. That's another thing, real quick. Network across. Let me say that for you again. Network across.
Okay.
Okay? Because those are the people that are just as hungry as you, that are willing to do the work with you, that are willing to go toe-to-toe with you, that are willing to do shit for free because they trying to build their shit up. Remember, the niggas at the top don't need you, nigga. They made it.
Exactly.
They don't need you. The nigga sitting next to you needs you, and you need him. So y'all niggas get together, tag team, and y'all can rise to their level, and then maybe they'll look at you like, because you're an equal, and be like, okay, nigga, let's get this money. Let's get together. Let's work together. But I just really want us as a people to start being a community again, and remembering that to have pride in yourself, to have confidence in your gifts and your abilities, and like, go watch the fucking Killer Mike interview, y'all. Like, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't.
You sleep out here.
You are sleep, nigga. Go watch Killer Mike's interview with the Breakfast Club. It will, nigga. I felt so much pride after I was like, I'm about to go.
Proud.
Hell yeah. I was playing James Brown after that shit. Okay. So I just want to say, listen, Killer Mike. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. You're in Atlanta, nigga. I need to meet you. I need to meet you. So I'm about to go out searching for fucking Killer Mike. Okay. If I need to go ask the Bloods and Crips, nigga, I'll go do it. Okay. I'll do what I need to do. But if real quick before we go, if you're in Atlanta and you want to come on the show, holla at me, DM me, email me. Everybody, as you can see, can be on the show. You don't have to be. You don't gotta have 100,000 followers to get down with T. Okay? Not even. All right. So, David, before we get out of here, how can we keep in touch with you?
Cool. So, I'm actually on Instagram, _ DJ94 _ So, I do a lot of production stuff. I'm actually doing a series right now on Black History. I'm doing a Black History document. So, take a look at that. I also do a podcast as well. So if you're a sports junkie or you just
I'm gonna go kiki with them.
If you're a real talk person, like you want to talk about everyday life, pull up. We on SoundCloud with ours. It's called Word on the Streets ATI. I started with my co-host Kiki Carew. So go support the culture just like we support everybody here. And if you're doing something positive, I definitely will follow. I definitely will keep track. So that's what I'm all about.
Exactly. All right, y'all. That's pretty much all the time that we have today. Thank y'all for participating. I honestly want to say that now that I'm here in Atlanta, I have so many new topics that we're going to talk about because dead ass, y'all, the dating scene around here is something that we are going to talk about in fucking depth.
We got to.
Okay, right. So y'all stay tuned. Remember that the poll will be going up for the topic for next week tomorrow. Make sure that you vote. And again, it's great to see you guys. I missed you because, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long or whatever. Exactly. But until next time, feel free to sip on this.